In this episode, we're giving you a May update of our portfolio, what it looks like, how much money we're making, and what our next steps are. Stay tuned.
What's that?
I like it.
Okay, sure.
All right, guys, welcome to our channel. This is Investing with the Baldo
Vinos.
Vinos. I'm Josh.
I'm Hannah.
And this is our story in real estate investing. If you're new to this channel, we cover just trying to get more money with more rental properties. So if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe below. Subscribe below. That's what I meant to say. Okay, but this is a new segment. What's our new segment?
It's regarding our monthly updates, but we need to find a better name for that.
We'll find it.
Yeah,
If you
we'll
have
have to find it.
suggestions, you can let us know in the comments below. But this is just kind of what's going on with our properties and our portfolio, what's going on in our heads, and then also maybe how you could eventually add value to us as well. Let's talk cash flow first. That's what everyone wants to know, is how much money are we making off of this crazy thing? So we have 3 properties right now. The first property, the Miller property, the tenant has been there for a couple months, very consistent, paid his rent on time. I got the statements. That gets deposited on the 10th actually for us every single month from our property manager. And so that one cash flows $450 a month right now. Boom.
Question.
Yeah.
Wait, so when you say it cash flows 450, you're talking about after we pay the mortgage and we pay all the monthly expenses, and what goes in our pocket is 450, right?
Yeah. So that is after the debt service. That's after PITI, property taxes, insurance, and principal and interest. That's after also saving for maintenance and CapEx expenditures, and also our management fees. So at the end of it, 450.
Yeah.
Our Ellsworth property, finally, after almost a month and a half of being on the market, we finally got a tenant to move in. We initially had the property listed at $1,300 a month. We then dropped it after a few weeks of not having as many quality applicants as we want. We dropped it to $1,250.
Mm-hmm.
And then a tenant moved in. What was it again?
May 21st or 22nd, something like that.
Yes, they moved in. They're getting
So real recent.
prorated.
Mhm.
And then we still have a hard money loan payment that we're making until we refinance that out.
Mhm.
So the tenant moved in for $1,250. We make a hard money loan payment for about interest only, by the way, for about $1,000. And so including that with also just saving for taxes and other maintenance items. And also our property manager for marketing fees takes the first month's rent. We are still negative on that property, but I'm considering that all kind of just in our build cost. Once we refinance, we should be able to get all of our initial capital back out, including the interest only payments. And we'd have hopefully this property for zero monies out of pocket in our July update.
Mhm.
But that's what we're working on now. Currently refinancing that now.
I also want to note that it took a month and a half to get the tenant in there, which actually doesn't really sound like a long time in the grand scheme of things. We started getting a little bit nervous, so I just wanted to point that out because we did get nervous. But I asked you, and you let me know that you had accounted for 6 months of the property being empty.
Yes.
So-
Yes. I did worst case scenario. And
Mhm.
so it was 6 months. And also I calculated in 6 months of holding costs, meaning interest only payments and paying utilities, etc. I did though, like have the hopeful, just hope of being able to refinance earlier. But unfortunately, most banks now are saying just 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, especially if I'm going to put that under my personal name. So that is one thing that I'm going to be hard on from now on. That sounds really bad.
I didn't even think of that. Let's try that again.
So that is one thing I'm going to be firm about putting an underwriting into my deal, is that we won't be able to refinance until 6 months.
Okay.
And then our last property, the Tamarack duplex, we are 3 weeks out from fully having that renovated. So we can hopefully start marketing that in June.
Mhm.
We are refinancing. I said that earlier.
Mhm.
Big mindset change. I feel like we've been operating differently.
Tell me more. You've been operating. I've just been getting updates randomly here and there. So tell me what's going on with you.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking about, there's different ways to go about real estate investing. And initially, now that I've built a team and kind of done a few deals under my belt, right? A lot of people are like, don't, be very cautious, of course, about what different types of joint ventures you take on. But at the same time, my goal is I do want to help people who are in my circle get rich with me. Like that's the ultimate goal of it. And so at this point now, I'm a lot more open to working with my family and friends and helping them also secure rental properties and type of joint venture partnerships. I was kind of against that and only doing private lending before that, but now I'm a little bit more open. So if you have done that with your friends and family, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to connect. How did that work out? What things should I look out for? What things should we look out for? But that's been a big mindset change. We've also been open to new markets.
Yeah, because Columbus is getting, I mean, it's always been competitive, but even in our little time being there, I feel like it's just expanded or like increased so much that none of our offers are panning out, and every listing is going way above asking price. That's above our risk tolerance. So we're branching out to Cincinnati and Dayton. I mean, we're kind of looking in California a little bit for Airbnb and like Sonoma or like just any of those like fun areas to visit. So if you know of any of off-market deals in California, please let us know.
Yeah.
DM him.
If you saw our goals video, that was initially it was to get 3 properties by the end of this year. And now she said, how can we get 10 doors?
Yeah.
Right. And so I think with partnerships and just kind of expanding the markets, there's definitely opportunities there. And I think we can do that for sure. I'm just kind of perspective on the market and things that I'm seeing right now is that in Columbus is still a great market. If you are willing to put 20% down and buy and hold and keep that money there for a little bit and let it appreciate, you can find a deal. There's a lot of deals there. If you're trying to find a BRRRR, it is near impossible. So there's more BRRRRs in other markets, and that's what I'm looking at in terms of placing our own capital. But with some of our newer equity partners who have never done it and doing a full rehab, especially out of state, it's a little scary. That's why we're open to now banking on some of these deals with some partnerships and being able to cash flow quickly and then figure out exactly what the exit strategy is years down the road. So that's kind of the updates. There's always still deals to be have. You just have to be diligent. You have to be diligent, but also creative in how you approach and underwrite them. Like it may not just be your money. It may not be, that perfect BRRRR scenario, but you can still find a deal, and you just have to figure out what deal works in the market right now.
Good to know.
And that's a wrap, Jack.
Oh. Nope, sorry.
No, do you have anything?
No, I think that was all that's going on. I mean, I know you've been aggressively looking every day in the morning and night for new deals on the MLS mostly.
Yeah. It is like 6 a.m. to 8:30 in the morning is just deal hunting and making sure that things are getting executed. And then from 9 to like 10:30 again at night, it's just executing and deal hunting. And so
we're working hard.
We're just rolling. But yeah, hope you guys found this helpful. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. If you like us and you want to continue to follow along, make sure to
like and subscribe.
You can also follow us on Instagram or TikTok.
Follow him on Instagram.
At Joshua_Baldovino. You can find hers if you're smart and savvy.
You don't have to. There's nothing useful there.
But anyways, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Really appreciate it. We will see you on the next one.
Cheers.